I don't think I'll be using the big screen again. I'll just be using this slide like this. So let's start from the beginning, right? Like what I said, when I said money, for some of us who do not have a background in like management sciences or all these commercial courses like accounting, economics, business admin, business management, and all of that. So and I believe quite a sizable percentage of people here are students. So for some of you who ended up, in science classes, you will not understand that money has a very, very unique definition. When they just say money is either naira or dollar, that's just what comes to your head. But that's not all that there is, right? So when it comes to money, money is just like any medium of exchange that is universally accepted, right? It is a medium of exchange that is universally accepted and it stores value in an economy. Now, three things. When you want to define money, you can't leave any of that. The first is that money has to be universally accepted. Everybody has to agree, come to a shared belief that this particular thing can be used as a medium of exchange. That's one thing, right? It has to be universally accepted. The second is that it has to be a medium of exchange. Okay? The next thing is that it has to be a medium of exchange in the sense that Mariam Saidu Serikinya, please mute your mic. Mariam, mute your mic. Mariam Saidu, okay. Thank you. So, right, the first thing is that it has to be universally accepted. The second is that it has to be a standardized medium of exchange. It has to be a medium of exchange. There are some things that are universally accepted, but might not be a medium of exchange, right? For example, gold. There's nowhere you want to go to in this world that you have gold that is not accepted. But the thing is, it might not be a medium of exchange in the sense that for me now that I want to sell my iPhone XR and you offer me gold, I might not want to take it because I don't have strength to take it to the market to go and use it. So it is at that point not a medium of exchange, right? And then the third thing about money is that it has to be a store of value in an economy, in the sense that when I keep it, the presence of it screams value. The reason why $100 bill and 100 naira is different, despite that they have the same digits, is because of the value that each of them carry. I don't know if you understand. So for anything to be called money, it has to what? It has to have these three characteristics. Now, furthermore, it then extends to say that it serves as a unit of accounts, a medium of exchange, a store of value, and also a standard or deferred payment. So now let me break it down. One of the main thing about money, right, like I said, is value. And what is even this value? Value is a shared belief, right? Value is a shared belief. Everybody here are listening to me quietly because they believe that I have the values to actually share my knowledge about this class with them. So anything called values, when I believe, me somehow believes that this thing is valuable, then it automatically becomes valuable. That is why sometimes you see some people, once they get like a currency that is not, let's say, a hard currency, let's say uh so let's say SGD, Singaporean dollar, for example. They get Singaporean dollar now. Singaporean dollar is valuable because you and I believe that it is valuable. Now, just imagine if for some of you, I want to do something practical now. For some of you on, sorry, someone is raising their hands. What is going on?
Sorry, that was me. I was trying to like bring your attention to the slides are not on full screen. So if you could put it on full screen.
Okay, I should put it on the big screen.
Yes, the slides.
Okay. I'll do that now. Thank you for that. So, right, so like I was saying, um so value is what? Is a shared belief. Now, I want to do a practical session. Anybody here, please, everybody, if you can lay your hands on any note, 15 naira, 100 naira, I just want you to hold it in your hand. Everybody, just reach out for any cash you have. Please, if you have done that, just type active. Just reach out to any note you have, 15 naira, 100 naira, 200, 1,000, just any cash you have in your hand. I want you to hold it now, right? Type active if you have done it. Okay, Ujungwa has it. Ayomide Muftau active. Okay. Benjamin active. Cynthia. Okay. Thank you, Nafisa, for being honest. Active, active. It's fine. It just creates a delusional picture of what a cash looks like to you. Now, beautiful. I think I can proceed from here. So now, I want you to think about it. Now, look at that cash in your hand. Kind of like stretch it in your hand. Like, look at it very well. They wrote 15 naira, they wrote 100. I don't know what denomination you have with you. But can you ask yourself, why do I believe that this thing has value? Why am I even keeping it safe? Because maybe where you picked it from is maybe you kept it on the table, in your pocket, or like it's close to you. But why is it that this thing now, this cash now, why is it that I believe that if I go to this man shop, because this thing can actually be paper, right? This can actually be paper. So now, what made you believe that that thing have value, right? One of the what makes that cash valuable in your hand now is a shared belief. Because, for example, if it's 1,000, you know that with that money, when you go to the shop owner and you give it to him, he's going to give you malts and he will still give you change because you and him believes that there is value in that. Okay, so that is just simply what it is. I would move on from here. So now for this shared belief, this simply means that any object can be used as money if it is believed to what? To have value. So now before getting here, I would just like to walk you through a little bit. I like talking about this. So for those of you writing, I'd like you to write in your book or in your notepad the evolution of money. After, what is money? For those of you who want to define money, you can say money is a universally accepted standardized medium of exchange and store of value in an economy. Money is a universally accepted and standardized medium of exchange and store of value in an economy. So now the next subheading you want to write, for those of you writing, evolution of money. There's a reason why I told you guys to get your notes, because a lot of things I'll be saying are not on this slide. Evolution of what? Of money. Now, when we say evolution, it means like how something has evolved from when it began down to where it is now. So in the evolution of money, the first thing you want to write, number one, is the barter system of exchange. The barter system of exchange. Barter system of exchange is spelled as BARTER. Barter system of exchange. That's number one. So what is this barter system of exchange? We know it. It is commonly called trade by barter, whereby I give you my yam, you give me your goat. I give you my cow, you give me your camel. I give you my pot, you give me your plates. So basically, it's just people exchanging objects amongst themselves. Okay. I think we still do the barter system of government to date. We still do that. And that is the barter system of government that we do till date is especially it's found mostly in for some of us who use phones, right? When you want to go and swap, we call it swapping. You give the phone seller your iPhone XR so that he can give you iPhone 12, and then you balance him up with money. That is also what barter system of government, barter system of exchange rather, if money was not added on it. Do you understand? So that is just, it's just simply how it is. For some of us, we have done it before. When I was in the university, right? So there are sometimes I will have Gary, and someone will have sugar. Enough, I have enough Gary. So for us to come, I'll be like, okay, you know what? Give me sugar. Why me? I add for you Gary. So when I give the person Gary, the person gives me sugar. Me, I have Gary and sugar, and that person also have what? Gary and sugar. And before you know, the next thing that happens is we end up getting, filled that particular day or that night at that particular point when we take that food. So that's how barter system of government works. But now there's an issue. For every evolution we have, it means that what we are evolving into is solving a particular problem that the previous system was actually lacking on. Okay, anything called evolution. Let me give you guys a practical example. 2003, 2004, we did not have laptops the way we did now. What we had then was just desktop. The desktop have one big back. Okay, so the desktop will have like one big back, right? The desktop will have one big back, but one of the issues we had then was that it was not movable, and that was why it was too heavy. We can't carry desktop from here. For some of us who are here now, let's say, for example, I'm in Kaduna now, and I want to move to Abuja tomorrow. I can't be carrying my desktop around. But one thing I know I can carry is my laptop. So that issue of that weight has been fixed. Okay. Another thing again is sharper processor. So those evolution that happened, a problem was being solved. Now, after barter system of government, we now move to another new system of government, which is known as seashells. Now, what was the problem with barter system of government? That's the question you want to ask. The problem is that I might have a goods, right? But what I want is Gary. And then the person that I'm meeting does not have Gary. What he has is yam. And what he needs in exchange of that yam is a goat. So that means that we don't have problem, because the barter system is always satisfying one side of the bargain, not the two sides as it is supposed to be. So that was when we now moved to what we call seashells. For some of us who were privileged to meet our grandparents or our great grandparents, when you have the privilege of like asking them questions, and you being lucky that they love when it comes to this thing, when it comes to stories, they love telling stories. What you just figure out is that they will tell you that during then, that what was used to pay their dowry then was like a cowries. Okay, you hear they will tell you it's cowries. And for some of us who travel a lot, right? You go to the beaches, you see some shells, some seashells. So those seashells were actually used as money in the past, because they don't just easily come by. Okay, when you go to the river bank, you have to waste a lot of time to be able to get like twice a considerable number of those seashells. I don't know if you understand. So that means if I have a goat and I want a yam, if I meet somebody that has seashell, I can collect that seashell, give the person my goat, and then go and look for somebody that has yam. The person will give me his yam, and I'll give him or her my seashell. And he knows that anywhere he goes, that seashell is universally acceptable. Okay, so please, if you have understood from the barter system of government, barter system of exchange to these seashells, can you type fire on in the chat box? Can you type fire on? Okay, can you type fire on? Just a few people are typing. We are not engaging, guys. Chinaza James says she did not understand the seashell. Wow, a lot of people did not understand. So seashell is nothing different. It's just simply these shells you pick on the bank of the river. There was when it was used as money. For some of us, one of the closest things that we might have come across is cowries. We know what cowries are now. Some of you use it to make your hair. Some ladies use it to make hair, right? In fact, for those of you who don't know what cowries is, can you write it down? The spelling of cowries is COW. Cowries. Cowries. You can Google it later. Yeah, I'm just using seashell like as an example. Okay, thank you, Miss Sama, for even spelling it out. So Chinemerem Iluachu and Chinaza James, right? Okay, I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read all of this. Okay, awesome. So, that is just simply what seashells are, right? So I'll proceed. Just follow me. Ensure you are here. Ensure you're writing and you're inquisitive to learn. You get it. Now, from Seashell had one particular problem. What was the problem that Seashell had? The problem that Seashell had then was that if you want to, so as I'm doing business now, let's say I'm a yam farmer, I can decide to, go and sell, go and farm a lot of yam. After cultivating that yam, wasting the whole planting season, I do when weeding season come, I weed my farm, and I then later harvested a lot of yam and I take it to the market, and I'm being paid with plenty seashells. Now, one of the disadvantages of that seashell is that someone can literally become a millionaire in seashell by just being at the bank of the river. For those of you who have visited beaches, right? Like a beach that is bank of the river or bank of the sea or an ocean, you will see that when water sweeps, most time water sweep seashells into like to the bank of the river, and people tend to pick it. I have some with me here, right? I have some with me. I think I'll share a picture of what seashells look like after this whole call. Anybody, please, you can remind me in the group in case I forget after the call. So, um, when I say seashell, this is the spelling of seashells, please. Yeah, Seashell. That's the spelling of seashells. So, there's also a country called Seychelles too. So that's not what I mean. Um, so right now, what was the problem that seashells had is that I can, plant as a farmer, plant and then gather a lot of seashells. And someone can also and become like a millionaire in seashells because I sold a lot of my yam. But another issue is that someone else can go to the bank of the river because he's always at the bank of the river. He will also become a millionaire in seashells. And that was not good. It was not balanced. Let me give you guys a practical example. So for some of you now, let's say you're working, right? You're working with the government and they're paying you 200,000 naira, or anywhere you're working in a restaurant, but what you're being paid is 200,000 naira. Imagine that somebody can also go and be sitting down at the gate of Central Bank of Nigeria, and the person will pick that same 200,000 naira for free. Are you saying that you're going to be very discouraged? It's going to look like your money does not have value because you are working hard for it, while another person is just getting it at the comfort of just being around the bank, around CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the one in your states where you're currently situated. So I hope I'm making sense. So that was the issue that Seychelles had. And then the next thing that later happened was, let's look for a currency that is a little bit more harder to obtain, right? And that was when they now moved to what? To gold and silver. They moved to what? To gold and silver. So the gold and silver was something that you don't find for some of you who know how gold is. We have seen things like gold bars, silver bars, and all of that. So gold bars, when you find them from the ground, they don't appear that same way. They always come out in their ore form, gold ore or silver ore, ORE. That means it's mixed with sand. It has to go through a lot of heating. You have to heat it, right? So that before it now takes the shape of either a gold bar or gives you a shiny shape of a gold. When you find it is, you'll find out that it's particles that is mixed so much with sand. For you to process the gold, right, you have to like keep washing it on the bank of the river. For some of you who have watched movies that has to do with this, you have to keep washing it at the bank of the river. And Then you now let her go and heat it. When you heat it, when it becomes like when it liquefies, you now put it inside anything that you want it to take the shape. That's how gold work. It was very hard now. So even if anybody is going to be picking gold and making it, is going to go through a lot of hard work to do that. So it's not going to make the money so rampant. So that was where we now moved towards to gold and silver. Now, what was the problem of gold and silver? Gold and silver, especially the bars, that was what they were using then, and shekels, the of silver, it was too heavy. Imagine taking 1 million bar of gold from Lagos to somewhere like Abuja. It's going to be so heavy. So what later happened? We now moved to coins. So whereby we have some of these metals that are not easily accessible. They are being, since they have to go through melting and then take up a particular shape. They're now giving them a particular shape and the signature of like an authority around. And that was how it all went through. We now started using coins. You see, when you go back, I'll use Nigeria as an example. We had coins like penny, we had shilling, before we had kobo and naira, we had penny and we had shilling. So this was how this money had to upgrade. Penny and shilling was a little bit easier to carry than gold bars and silver bars also. So um that was how sorry, is my voice breaking?
No, it's stable. Stable now, but at some point it will just break a bit. But then it doesn't take a while for you to like get back on. But it's stable.
Yeah, my internet is even telling me it's unstable. Sorry, guys. You guys have to, just understand with me today. From on Friday, I would be using probably Starlink to join these calls. This place, it met me outside, and that's where I'm having this call. Okay. So,
All right.
like I was saying, so from coins, right? That was how we now moved to coins. Mind you, I hope you guys are writing because we're talking about the evolution of money. For some of you, this is the first time you're hearing about this. You never knew that money had to go through a lot of changes for it to get to what you have now. So we now move to coins, right? So and then that was how coins came into the picture. We had Kobo. Now coins had one particular problem, and I'll use a Nigerian experience to cite an example. So coins then we had 5 Kobo, we had 1 Kobo, we had 100 Kobo, right? We even had 1 naira coin then. Now imagine you wanted to go, you're a business person that is based in Enugu and you want to use GEO transport to go to Lagos to go and buy goods that you come back to Enugu to sell. Imagine taking coins worth 1 million naira. How many coins do you think you carry? How many coins do you think you carry if you had one naira, five kobo, one kobo, and so the coins is going to be too heavy. It's going to be too big, especially when the money is now when the money is now being used in volume. Okay, so that's what literally happens. And then from that coins, we now move to the paper money that we're using, which is the one I told you guys to hold in your hands, right? I'm sure nobody held coins when I say hold a currency. So if you could attest to it, for some of you who were privileged to know what coins are like and what they operate like, you would be very, very just and honest to know that paper money is far, far less heavier than coins. Paper money is heavier. It's gonna be less heavier than it's gonna be less heavier than the coin. Someone is asking, what is this? What here did this evolution of money started? It's like I can't give an exact time, right? But it's like back far, far back then, BC. I think it should be as old as the world. Let me put it this way.
Mr. Miracle, are you still there? Okay, guys, I feel like his network has kicked him out once more. So let me reach out to him.
Okay, I think Echo has some slight network issue, but he's back now.
Sorry, guys. So I'm back now, right? So for some of
Yeah,
you,
I can hear you.
when you okay, can I be heard now? Can you, if you can hear me, if you can hear me, just type I can hear you in the chat box so that we can just continue.
We can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. So, like I was saying, right? So that was how we now move to what we call, paper money. And then for those of you, someone was asking like what year? I can't give the exact year, but you can. I'm just giving you guys like a preamble when it comes to the evolution. You are free to go back to do your research, to get more understanding. So that was how we got to paper money, right? And then this paper money is something most of us at least have been using. It has not yet gone extinct. So I'm sure a lot of us are still using it. Any cash you see. Then paper money later evolved into electronic money, right? Which is the money you have on your bank app. Someone like Nafisa told us that she doesn't use cash anymore. So Nafisa, the fact that Nafisa does not have any cash does not mean that she's broke. It means that she can have like 20 million naira in her bank account, but she doesn't have like even one piece of cash on her. So it just simply means that it has she her this thing evolved. She's now more like into electronic money, whereby if I need urgent 2K from her, what she'll just do is that time she'll tell me, send me your account digits or your OP or something of that nature. And that is what we call what? Electronic money. You can call it electronic money, you can call it digital money, right? For some of you, when you open your bank app or your OP app, you see that you have some money there, but you can't touch it, right? You can't touch it. It's just the digits there, and you're seeing it, and you're very, very relaxed. At least you have this peace of mind, even without having the money in your hand. So that is how we moved from paper money to digital money or electronic money. So from that digital money, the next form of money that later came was now something we knew as anonymous digital money. So anonymous simply means that how was it different, right? What was the issue that digital money had that this anonymous digital money is trying to solve? So there's a lot of things, and most of them has to do with censorship, right? Censorship resistance. That was what that money was solving, and that is what we are currently trying to learn, which is the crypto. So the thing is, let me give a practical example. Since Mesoma is like the clash here, so let's Mesoma is Enugu State University of Science and Technology, and Mesoma is in her final year. There's one of their lecturer that has been teaching them a particular course from level 1 to level 4. But not unfortunately for them, the class now decided that, you know what, let us make a contribution so that we can support this lecturer, even if it's getting him stuff or buying him a car, for example, because he has tried for us and we are happy about what he did. Now, there are a lot of people that would want to donate, and they'll be like, they'll not say bring 5,000 or bring 10,000. They'll be like, everybody bring anything that you have laid in your heart to pay. When this is being, pushed to you, what you now want to do is, and God has blessed you this year. Let's say Mesoma is working with a particular company. She's working online, she's working from home, and they are paying her $20,000 a month. Now, Mesoma might want to give 1 million naira to that donation, But when she sees, she'll see that her classmates are sending 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. And she wants to donate that money, but she doesn't want anybody to know that she's the one. And she wants to give 2 million naira because the lecturer, there was a time in her level 3 where she was sick and could not write a test. The lecturer had to have pity on her and then made her pass. So because of that single favor, she wants to like repay it with this. But she knows that if she donates 2 million naira, next day or the next week, everybody in the class that knows that Miss Oma donated to me will bring their family problem to her. You now hear somebody will come and say, my mother have heart disease, so I will need 200,000 naira to operate her. Please, can you help me? You know how Nigerians are, and she wants to do this thing in an anonymous way. So, that is just one. Another one is some of us don't know how hard it is to move money, because the highest money we have moved it has never exceeded, let's say, 50 million or 100 million. When you're moving money that is far, far above that, right, on like your normal banks, a lot of things has to happen. You have to answer some questions for your own money, right? Bodies like EFCC are going to ask you a question. What do you need that money for? Who are you paying it to? How did you get the body? So, and all of those things, that is why we now, this whole money now morphs into what? Into crypto. So this is just
Am I the only one that cannot hear him? Is it my network or is it his? All right, so let me reach out to him. Let me reach out to him. His network has gotten the best of him. I've reached out to him. So he's going to hold on a bit. He's going to join back.
okay. Awesome. So I'll be proceeding from here. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Though I didn't see, did people type what I said, Miss Oma? Just to be sure that they got it.
Sorry, did you type what?
I said if people understood, there's something I said they should type. But like, can you just type get fire on if you know you understood like the evolution of money that I just explained, and you want me to move on to the next thing?
I think where you stopped is when you were giving an example. That was where you stopped. You didn't ask to type fire.
Okay, so so that was what I just asked. I said that if Miss Summer wants to do that, she would, want to do it like so. She wants to do it in a way where um she wants to do it in a way where like nobody has to see it, right? And all of that. So crypto gives you that opportunity to do things anonymously and also without like the involvement of the government. Some of you might want to ask, but you said crypto does not involve the government. Why is the government needing task now? So they are tasking crypto. I'll talk about that later. Okay. But Miss Summer, can I be heard, please?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see your screen as well.
Okay, awesome. So the next thing now is traditional financial systems. What are these traditional financial systems? the fact that I was able to take my time to explain the evolution of money, traditional finance should not be a big problem for you, right? To understand. It should just be something that you can just get from the foundation of the previous explanation I've done from the evolution of money. So traditional finance simply means it's just like the conventional or widely accepted methods and that we use to perform financial transaction in this age, right? Currently. So this system have been in place for many years and are integral to the global economy. So key components of traditional financial systems include our local banks, both the commercial banks, the mortgage banks, microfinance bank. They all practice traditional what finance. The fact that it's traditional, please, your head should not go that it is something that is local. That's not what we mean here. Okay. We have. Sorry, can I be heard? I kind of had a call. Okay. Yes, Emma, can
Yes,
I be
we
heard?
can hear you. Yes, we can
Okay.
hear you.
So um So that is just traditional finance, right? It just involves how your local banks work, the CBN works, stock exchange, insurance. These are all like financial institutions, how they work. For example, now your bank. Let me give you guys a little bit breakdown. This is not completely how the bank works, but I'll just break it down for you, right? So bank collects deposits from you to keep your money for you, but they don't keep that money. They invest the money, right? They invest it into different things. Now, Mr. Chukwuka is a businessman who sells motor pass in Onitsha. Mr. Chukwuka would go and meet the bank and say, please, can you give me 500,000 naira as a loan? I'm going to return it in 3 months' time. The bank will say, okay, no problem, Mr. Chukwuka. We are going to give you that 500,000 naira. But when you're returning it, you're going to add an additional 100,000 naira for profits for that 3 months. And then you now figure out that Mr. Chukwuka collected the 500,000. At the end of the 3 months, Mr. Chukwuka pays the bank back 600,000. And then the bank will now bring 20,000 out of that 100,000 and then add it to for you. And now said, if it's will be up to that 20,000, and now said, this is your interest for keeping your money with the bank for this amount of time. I hope I'm making sense. So that's just like, that is traditional finance. That's just like a little bit of how it works. So now we currently have um crypto and blockchain as a like in the new financial system. So these are new financial system. They're not like the traditional financial system, right? And that is what we're trying to delve into. So the next thing is the evolution of money. Awesome. So I have actually explained this. I don't think I need to go back to it, right? If you understood my explanation on evolution of money, can you just type on the evolution? Can you type evolution? If you understood my evolution of money, can you just type evolution? Awesome. So let me make this statement again. A lot of this class is supposed to start by 8:30, but we had to stretch because we are waiting for others. We waited till 9 p.m. Please try as much as possible to join by um 8:30 when it is being due, so that you don't come to the call and you start telling us that you did not join early, we left you. We can't just wait for one person. We had over 30 people on the call who were already ready to learn. They knew it was 8:30 and they came in by 8:30. So please, we can't be waiting for you. We had a mutual agreement. For those of you who don't know, you actually click when you're registering for this course, you clicked on the terms and condition where we actually put that you should be in class on time. And mind you, for everybody here, attendance is being taken. The amount of hours you spend on this call is being recorded. For some of you that would just join 2 minutes or 3 minutes and then you leave, we are keeping record of every one of those things, right? So please, classes start by 8:30, not 9:30. Don't join a class by after 9 and then you're telling us that you don't understand what was being discussed earlier. I'm just trying to make this because I saw some comments about some people who were, talking about the late coming. I just decided to make it clear. Classes start by 8:30. If I were you, join by 8:25. Because on Friday, by God's grace, I'll be starting at exactly maybe 8:35, just 5 minutes. That's the only window I might be giving because I know some people will be trying to fix their network and all of that. But if possible, join by 8:20 or 8:25 if you know you have network issues like me today. I hope that makes a whole lot of sense. So let's just continue with the evolution of money, right? So Miss Oma, you can hear me well now, right?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Awesome. So now this is fiat money. I didn't, explain what this fiat money is, but fiat money is in most times it's paper money that is being issued by the government. Some of you hear fiats. There are some places on Twitter or somewhere you see something where they write crypto to fiat. Fiat just simply means that your local currency, right? Something that is being backed by your government. So it's a legal tender replaced. It's a legal tender that replaced the gold and other commodities. I spoke about this, and I talked about how portable and easy to use it is, right? So it is not scarce. So there is no intrinsic value. These are like the characteristics of fiat money. But one thing you should just understand about fiat money, I've explained all of this back then when I was explaining the evolution of money. Okay, so um, in the early days of fiat money, every paper note was backed by the respective amount of gold. Okay, they can't just print notes, but must have an equivalent in gold. But now, not anymore. The only thing that makes fiat money valuable is faith. Of course, it has legal value because the government defines fiat as a legal tender. But in essence, it only has value because society believes it has value. I think I've also explained about this, about value being a shared belief. And I told you that pick the 100 naira or the any note and say, look at it. That what makes this thing have value is because you believe so, and the owner of the shop that you want to buy something from also believes that it has what? It has value. So now, we are now at what is crypto. Can you guys type fire on so that I can continue? I just want this to be a very interactive class. It's a little bit unfortunate that it had to happen this way, but we move. Type fire on so that I can start the type fire on. I told you that I was being observant of people that have been typing, right? There's this person called Anu Ruo Chinwotito. And Chinwotito has not been typing since. I've not seen what you type. I told you I was keeping tabs and I was looking at people who were typing. I knew them. I know them. And they also know me. Yeah? Yakubu Daniel, I'm not sure I've seen any engagement where you also typed. Chinwo Tito has not yet typed also. Can she hear me? Awesome. So now let's move to the next one, right? Which is what is what? What is crypto? Last time I saw somewhere on Twitter where they said where someone asked this question, what is crypto? And the person spelled CRY first. He now put dash, now put PTO. Like it's cry. Crypto simply means that you cry first, then before it will now PTO. And I was just laughing. That was what the thing said on the Twitter. But let us be honest. it's almost impossible that anybody here have not heard about what crypto is. We have heard crypto, we have heard, but sometimes we don't really know what it means or how it works. And we have just been in the people who just know that anybody that's into crypto is somebody that have money. That's just what we know about it. I don't really know what it means. Please, if you fall in that category, can you type active? You don't really understand what it is or how it works. What you just know is that anybody that has it is a rich person, because poor people cannot have crypto. Can you just type active? Let me know the kind of people I'm dealing with so that I'll know how to explain it better to you. My goal is that after this class, you would understand better. Now understand that, oh, this thing is not just, it's not how I'm looking at it too. You can actually have this crypto and then somebody that is, that is selling mango and banana on the way can be better than you. It's very possible. So you just understand it better now. Okay, active. Awesome. Nobody said even Pablo for self. Beautiful. So now let's get to it. Now, I was explaining crypto when I was talking about the evolution of money, right? So when it comes to crypto is like the digital form of money. So guys, I'll be a little bit faster now because of our time. I'm trying to finish on or before 10:30, so you guys don't get tired or bored. So it's a digital form of money. Now, when we say anything is digital form of money or digital form, it simply means that it can only be accessed by a digital device. I hope that makes sense. So when we say anything is digital, right, we simply mean that what it can be accessed by what? A digital device. Unlike fiat that is physical, which is like our paper money, our cash, crypto is quite different. Okay. So now, what is the second thing about crypto is that aside the fact that it's a digital form of money, it cannot be duplicated or destroyed. That means that, for example, if the government decide that 1,000 naira notes, that what they want to just print this whole year is 1 million pieces, and they will not print more than 1 million pieces. Trust me, if it was crypto, there's no how that they can do that, right? It cannot be duplicated or destroyed. Crypto would always be there. Now, crypto is distributed peer to peer. Now, when they say peer to peer, let me explain what this peer to peer means. It's in a very layman way. Right? So,
Mr. Miracle, your voice is breaking.
oh, thank you. Let me fix that. So, how about now? Is it still breaking now?
No, it's stable now.
Okay. Yeah, peer to peer, I know. So, let me go to the peer to peer. Don't worry, I'll repeat, I'll go back again. So now I wanted to explain what peer-to-peer is, right? In a way that you guys can understand. Now, peer-to-peer is just simply peer-to-peer is simply moving funds from me to you directly. So the way Mesoma is now, when I want to send money from me to Mesoma, let me explain to you how it happens. I use Kuda Microfinance Bank. Mesoma probably uses a Pampi app to get money. So when I want to send money to Mesoma, right, what I do is, when I want to send money to Mesoma, what I do is I will first of all send the money from myself, right? I'll send it. How it works, how the money moves is that first off, it's going to be from me to Kuda, from Kuda to Pampi, and then from Pampi to Mesoma. That's how the money moves. Let me draw. I wish I could draw the illustration, but I want you guys to draw it. The first person is from me. I want to send Mesoma 20,000 right now, for example. So the money, how the money is going to move is that it's going to move from me to my bank, that is to Kuda Bank, from Kuda Bank to Pampi, and from Pampi to Mesoma. That is why when you're transferring money, you now receive charges, transfer charges for you. In fact, when the money you're sending to Mesoma is over 50,000 naira, there's something they call 15 naira levy. They remove it. So peer-to-peer simply means eliminating that middleman. So in this scenario, I am here, I am at the extreme end, Mesoma is at the extreme end. The middlemen are Pampe and Kuda Bank. So peer-to-peer is a kind of transaction that happens where that middleman is being eliminated. Sorry, Mesoma, can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you, but somebody is saying she's confused. Salome.
Okay, let me go over it again now. I need your attention here. If you pay attention now, I promise you, you guys will understand, right? Salome said she's confused. Or should I use you as an example rather? Okay, Salome. So let's say Salome uses let's say Salome uses Zenith Bank app and I use a First Bank application, for example. Peer-to-peer simply means that. So how peer-to-peer works is normally if I'm to send money to Salome, Salome is going to send me her Zenith Bank account number, and I'm going to be sending the money from my I'm going to be sending the money from my First Bank. So I'm trying to explain to you guys how the money moves. It's going to be okay. Let me drop it in the group. Right? So let me drop it in the group. So it's going to be from me. My name is Miracle. Right? I'm looking for something. I'm coming, guys. There's something I want to type in the group just for better understanding. Just for better understanding, right? So so I said if Salome uses no, don't worry, guys. I'm not talking. It's not as if it's breaking. Ayomide Muftao. Mesoma, you guys can hear me now, right? It's not breaking. I'm just not talking. That's why.
Yes,
So on the
we can
WhatsApp,
hear you.
yeah, on the WhatsApp group, I dropped something on the WhatsApp group. So so yeah, this is how it works, right? I just dropped something on the WhatsApp group. So when I'm sending money to her, it's gonna be from Miracle to First Bank, my bank that I'm using. Then from my bank to Salome's Zenith Bank. The money Zenith Bank has to get the money first before Salome can get it. Do you guys understand? So after Zenith Bank gets the money, Salome what now gets it. Now, what is peer-to-peer? Peer-to-peer is simply, I'm giving a practical example. I don't want to bore you guys with definition. Peer-to-peer is just like is like where the money moves directly from Miracle to Salome, right? Bypassing this middleman. The two people in the middle are what? First Bank and what? And Zenith Bank. So when I'm sending the money, it goes directly from Miracle to Salome. Salome, you're the ones that answer that you are confused. If you understand this now, please, can you type I understand? Everyone, if you understand the illustration I just did about peer-to-peer, can you type I understand on the chat box? Can you type I understand? Okay, Salome understands. Beautiful. So let's head back so that I would be explaining most of these things like one after the other. Okay, so that is just simply what P2P means. Now the next thing is what borderless. Borderless simply means that if I am here now in Nigeria, I can receive this crypto from someone that is in the US. I can send crypto now from Nigeria to someone in Brazil, and the person will receive it, right? The person can be like a Brazilian, someone that doesn't have anything to do with a Nigerian. There's that possibility, and the person would receive it, right? And the same way that is the same way I can also, you understand, So once we say borderless, it just simply means that this money called crypto is not only used in one place, it's used in different places. I hope that makes sense, right? So that's what borderless means. Now the next thing is that it is protected by cryptography. What is cryptography? For those of you who are writing, you want to write this. I know why I said bring your writing material. A lot of things calculations.
We lost you at some point.
Okay, where exactly? What was the last thing you heard me say?
You were talking about, yes, your voice was breaking, but you were talking about the cryptography, the
Okay,
borderless.
okay, yes,
The
borderless.
borderless.
So yeah, borderless simply means that the money can be sent anywhere and can be received from anywhere. Some of you are in Enugu. You can send this money from Enugu. You can send it down to Romania. Someone can send you money from Puerto Rico. You can send it to you down to Lagos, down to Abuja, anywhere any of you are, Kaduna, Kano, and the rest of its kind, right? So that is what borderless means. So for cryptography are complex mathematical calculations that is used to secure a particular algorithm. Let me put it that way. So cryptography are complex mathematical calculations, right? In the sense that it is like the security of it is the security that cryptocurrency runs on. So before someone is able to cryptography is a little it has to solve complex mathematics solving that the person can,
It's a
be able
miracle.
to infiltrate.
It's a miracle. Your
Yeah,
voice
can you hear
broke
me?
off. Yes, we can hear you now, but your voice broke off as you were explaining cryptography.
Okay, what about now? Can I be heard now?
Yes, I can hear you now, but your voice broke off as you were explaining.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
go over cryptography again.
So cryptography is a complex mathematical calculation that is used to secure any information or data, right? It converts readable information, right, to unreadable information. It's just like so cryptography is a complex mathematical calculation that is used to secure data and information, right, by converting information that can be read normally to unreadable information. People Prevents people who are not authorized to access a particular system. That's what cryptography is. For those of you who are writing, sorry, this thing came off the top of my head, but I can't repeat it. I hope you guys got it, yeah. So that's what cryptography is. Please, can you hear me now, or
Please.
it's still broke again? Miss Soma, did it break? Hello, did it break again? It broke.
Yes.
It's like, I think maybe this class doesn't want you guys to understand cryptography then. Well, how is it that you can hear me now, but when I want to explain cryptography, you guys cannot hear me? Okay, I'll go over it again. Are you guys listening to me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Miss Soma, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. So cryptography involves complex mathematical calculations. Cryptography involves complex mathematical calculations that is used to secure information and data. That is used to secure information and data. So that simply means that it is only the authorized person that has the solution to that complex mathematical problem. And when that complex mathematical problem is solved, right, that security is just like a password. That security is laid down. But it's not something that you just put 2781138 the way we do. Or if you want to put a password, you now put love and light 234 ##. That's not how it works. Do you understand? How cryptography works is that it converts readable information, right, to an information that cannot be readable in order to prevent unauthorized access. Mesoma, did you guys get it now? Please, if you got what cryptography is, can you type fire on in the chat box? If you got it this time, can you type fire on in the chat box?
The fire ones are coming in.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. So, right, basically that's just simply what cryptography is. And I'll move to other stuff so that the next thing we'll be discussing now is going to be the comparison of crypto and fiat money. Please, can you guys see the slide?
Yes, we can see it. We can see it.
Awesome. So for fiat money versus crypto, these are like the differences. So in your subtopic, you want to write differences between fiat and crypto. Differences between fiat and crypto. So number one is this. Fiat, when it comes to fiat money, fiat is centralized, while crypto is decentralized. So I don't want to talk about centralization. Centralization just simply means the presence of a central authority. While decentralization simply means the absence of a central authority. It's just that simple. So the way we are now as Nigerians, we are all practicing a centralization kind of government where we have a central authority, and our central authority is the president, known as Tinubu. In a place whereby we don't have one central authority, we call it a decentralized community. I don't know if that makes sense. So number two is that it is controlled by governments or third parties. Here we just say governments, but third parties are also involved, right? So when it comes to crypto is peer-to-peer. Remember how I showed you how we removed that distance. So if I'm sending Bitcoin from my wallet to Mesoma's wallet, it is directly from me to Mesoma. There is no other body. There is no other person that is getting that Bitcoin as a body or something. The wallet that you're using to transfer it is not getting it before Mesoma. It's just that that wallet is the tool that Mesoma is using to collect that Bitcoin. I hope that makes sense. So now number 3 is that fiat money is not scarce. It has unlimited supply. You know, we can keep printing money. Some of us like this now, before we see money, we have to be going to work every day, Monday to Friday for 1 month. There are some people that are somewhere that this money, people that are where they print it, they just keep printing the money. You can't know the complete supply. So most times it's not scarce. Anything that can just be printed, like your what's it called? Like your handouts, it is quite unlimited, right? But for crypto, crypto is scarce. It is controlled and limited supply. So the total supply for Bitcoin till date is 21 million. And no any other Bitcoin has been minted after that 21 million. Bitcoin will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin in the whole world. I don't know if that makes sense. That means they will not come a time where we'll now say, no, now Bitcoin is, we have 24 Bitcoin in the whole world. It doesn't work that way. Right? So the next thing is chargebacks and double spend. So chargebacks is like sometimes, right, when you make a transaction, that transaction can just decide not to go, or sometimes it goes twice. You know, this is things that happens with fiat money. But in crypto, it is irreversible transaction. Once the transaction has gone, it has gone. You can never reverse it. Sometimes when you send money to somebody, let me even put it to you this way. When you send money to somebody and then that person is the wrong person, you're telling the person to send it back, he refuses. When you go to your bank tomorrow, your bank can help reverse that money back. But in crypto, it never works that way. So for fiat money, inefficient, slow, and expensive. It's inefficient, it is slow, and it is expensive. While for crypto, it is fast and cheap. So I wanted to make a transaction of, I can't remember, I think it was, is it $600 last week? And what I was charged was around 35 cents. 35 cents is $0.35. Is it $0.035? That 5 cents is less than, it's less than 500 naira for $600, which is like almost $1 million naira. But if this was normal banks that are doing it with, they will collect 15 naira, they will collect 23 naira for message, they will collect email fee, they will collect this, they will collect that, and before you know, they're already collecting almost 8,000 plus because of this. So crypto is quite fast and cheap. And then if I send money to your OP, and someone sends money, especially for example, like on the Solana blockchain, I'm telling you, the Solana blockchain will go before that particular transfer that we did normal actually appears. Is that fast? Crypto is that fast. It's not something that you send today, you be waiting, you say, okay, maybe it's network. There are sometimes you send money to somebody, it's like after 2 days, when the thing is left hanging, that the thing will now drop. In crypto, nothing like that happens. So that is just the difference between what crypto and fiat money. So I hope I have made you guys understand what crypto means, right? It's just like a currency. Cryptocurrency is just a currency that has all those characteristics that I listed. Mind you, at the end of this class, my goal is for you to be able to understand that crypto and blockchain are not the same thing. Some people, crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin, they call it one thing, and I know some of you are here. Some of you guilty ones are here. But after this class, you should understand that what crypto is, what blockchain is, and also different what Bitcoin is. Okay. So one of the example I did not give here is like example of like cryptocurrencies. Examples involve Bitcoin, for those who want to write, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, USDC, right? ADA, and so on and so forth. There are many, right? There are many. There are like millions of cryptocurrencies. These are just like the ones that are a little bit popular. Okay, so those are like examples of crypto. Now, blockchain. what is this blockchain that we're talking about, Seth? You know, it's easier to say blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. But what's this blockchain all about? Now, for some of you, I want you to
I can't
so
hear you. I can't hear
I
you.
know, I know. I just wanted to be sure. That's why I paused, just to be sure that you guys can are following. So now I want you guys to write blockchain. We have limited time, so I just want to speed. I want to go like a little bit faster so that you guys would get it. We're almost done. So what is blockchain? For those of you now, blockchain is a decentralized, distributed, and public digital ledger that is used to record transactions across many computers so that the records cannot be altered retroactively without the alteration of all subsequent blocks and the consensus of the network. Wow. 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 So let me put it to you this way. Are you guys getting it? Now I want you to look at blockchain. Let's break the word into two. There's block, there's chain. Now, this block, I want you to like turn it into something like the block that we use to build houses. Okay, this block we used to build houses that has two holes. I want you guys to create a mental image of that. Now, blockchain, I want you to imagine another, like you have two blocks, right? Two of them are joined together, like, the way, like these two blocks with two holes, they are joined together as a chain. This one is entering from this side, while the other one is entering from this side. Two. Now, I want you to add another one to make it three. These blocks are like, they're connected together. Now, I want you to add another one again to make it four. Now make it 5 and 6. It's just like you're closing your eyes to create this image, right? It's not as if you're just keeping them together like on a straight line. You're actually joining them. That means if this one is straight, this one has to be slant so that it can be able to enter the hole. Okay, so now those 5 blocks, let's call them a blockchain. Each of them are individual blocks. Do you guys understand? Each of them are individual blocks. So as blockchain and individual blocks, right? I want you to take it that the first block that you brought before you brought the second one to add it. Now let's label it. Let's give it a name. The name we are giving it, the first block in a blockchain is known as the Genesis block. Some of you want to write that down. It's known as what? The Genesis block. Now, I want people to look at each of those blocks. Look at it as representation that each of them carry one information. For those of you who don't understand, blockchain, it's simple. Its work is just to store information. The way you guys have like your Google Drive and all of that, that's the same way blockchain is. Okay. So I wanted to look at it that this blockchain, right? Each of those blocks store information. And now there's a word they use here. They said a ledger. Now, what is a ledger? What is a ledger? A ledger is simply a ledger is a document that is used to to record and track transactions. So let me give you guys an example. I want to use somebody as an example here. I like using people, someone that has not been talking for a while. Let me use this example and catch the person. Who should I use? Who should I use? Who should I use? Okay. So okay, Chinyere Osuji. Are you there? If you're there, unmute yourself and say I am. Chinyere Osuji. Chinyere Osuji. Are you there? Unmute yourself. I know you're not expecting me to pick you. Chinyere Osuji. Hello, Chinyere. I think Chinyere has slept. That's so sad. Let me use another person. Okay, Elizabeth Fachi, are you there? Sorry if I don't pronounce the name well. Apologize. Elizabeth Fachi, are you there? Unmute yourself and say if let me know if
Yes,
you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So now I want to give an example. I want to cite an example of how this ledger works, right? So let's say Elizabeth Fachi is based in Abuja. Okay, yeah, let's use Abuja. Let's say Elizabeth Fachi is based in Abuja, and Elizabeth is staying around Kubwa in Abuja, but there is one of her uncle that is selling. The uncle is selling tire and tubes, right? He's selling tire and tubes in somewhere in Abuja that we call Gwagwalada, right? That's what her uncle is selling there. Her uncle is traveling to Lagos to go and buy goods, and he told Elizabeth that Elizabeth, come and stay in my shop. I want you to stay in my shop. This particular tire, this size, I sell it for 20,000. That's the last price. This size, I sell it for 25. This size, I sell it for 15. This tube is 10,000. This one is 5,000. This one is 3,000. Now, her uncle explained the prices to her and then left the shop for her. Now, if Elizabeth comes today to the shop and sells 10 tire, there's a book where she will write, okay, I sold 10 tire, each of them for 20,000 naira, which equals 200,000. That is one information. Secondly, someone now came in the afternoon and bought tubes, 5 tubes. I sold 5 tubes for 115 each. 5 of them is now 7,500. There's a book where she will write all of these things. So let's say someone now came in the evening, now say, where is your guy? I say, my guy is now. I say, okay, we do pay security fee every week, and it's 2,500. And you must pay us because we cannot just determine not to pay the security personnel because of you. So Elizabeth Fachi now decides to remove 2,500 from the money she sold and paid for security levy. Someone wants to say something? Miss Oma, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. But Salom is trying to point out that the, the, the time to end the call has reached.
Yeah, I know. We just have to finish this. We should have ended since, but I'm trying to make most of you understand. That's why I'm taking much of the time. And we didn't start early because we were waiting for people. So please,
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
give me a few minutes to be done. So I'm still giving an example with Elizabeth Fachi. So Elizabeth now gave for 2005 for security levy, and then Elizabeth wrote it down in that same book that out of all these things I've sold, minus 2,500 for security levy. So that book that she's writing all of those things, that is called a ledger. Are you guys getting me? So now, this is it. Remember, we have 5 blocks that are joined together. I don't want you to forget. Now, that first transaction, the information is stored on the first block. That is the first tire, 10 tires that she sold for 200,000 naira. The second 5 tubes that she sold for let's say 7,500 is stored in the second block. The security that she paid for 25, that information alone is stored what? On the third block. So when we say blockchain is a ledger, let me go back to the slide now. I'm just trying to use illustration to explain it better to you so that most of you understand. Right? So blockchain is a decentralized. When we say something is decentralized, right? It means that there's no central authority. There's nobody that will come and say, I'm the president of this blockchain. I'm the governor of this blockchain. It doesn't happen. Right? It is distributed. Now, I want you guys, I'm using the mouse now to make an illustration. I want you guys to look at this here. Now imagine that information that you're storing somewhere is not only on one place. Just like the way you have your Google Drive and you're the only one that have access to it, aside you then Google. Different people have access to that. That means since it's distributed, you can't hack that information from here, because once you're trying to hack it from here, this one has the information, this person has the information, this person has the information. So you see, it forms like what we call a network. That's what distributed simply means. There's no one particular place where all the whole files are being saved. Just like for some of you who have encountered something whereby they are looking for your record somewhere and they say they can't find it. In blockchain, it doesn't happen that way, because these informations are what distributed and public digital. For the thing to be public means that it is not private. It is not private. Everybody has access to it. That's what public simply means. Now, digital ledger. When I say digital, remember I established a foundation before that. Anytime we say digital, it simply means that that thing has to be accessed with a digital device. It simply means that has to be what accessed with what a digital device. So you can now imagine. Now let's go over it again. You people now understand where this definition came from. A blockchain is a decentralized. That means there's no central authority, distributed. The information are scattered around different people. It's not in one particular place. That's what distributed means. And public. Public simply means what? It is what? It is not private. Everybody has access to it. And public digital means that it can be accessed with a digital device. And a ledger, I told you guys that a ledger is a document that is used to record and track transaction. So just like what I explained with Elizabeth Fatcher's uncle, so that's just what a ledger is, right? That is used to record transaction. Beautiful. So now, right, what it is recording is not only transaction, right? But here we are just using transaction because of the fact that we want it to be involved with crypto. I'll show you other ways we can also apply blockchain tech. So that is to record transaction across many computers. This across many computers has to do with this distribution, this distributed dimension here, that I use this illustration to explain for you, right? So that the record cannot be altered retroactively without the alteration of subsequent blocks and the consensus of the network. Beautiful. Now, it cannot be altered. What does this mean? It simply means that the way I explained about Elizabeth Fatcher. Now, I will still go back to that Elizabeth example. We're not yet done with it. Remember, Elizabeth put about the 2.5. Now, let's say Elizabeth is a very, very understanding girl, and there's this guy that Elizabeth used to like in Abuja. Let's call this guy, since he's Elizabeth, let's say this guy's name is Samuel, for example, right? So Elizabeth is now going home from Gwagwalada to Kubwa. The guy stays in Kubwa where Elizabeth is staying also. So Elizabeth now decided to remove 4,000 naira so that Elizabeth can buy point and kill for this her crush that is staying in Kubwa. Are you guys getting it? But Elizabeth doesn't have money, and definitely where she has to remove this money is from where? She has to remove the money from what she sold for her uncle. So as Elizabeth being an expert, instead of her putting that she sold 10 tubes, she can just remove and then use her pen to correct something. Are you getting it? So that when 4,000 leaves the money, the uncle will not find out. I don't know if that makes sense. So you can, so that she can buy pointer kill for her crush in Kubwa. Now, if that was on the blockchain, just like how I explained for you, that you have to, like, these blocks are intertwined. The first transaction is stored on the first block, the second one is on the second, and then the third one is on the third. Now, for Elizabeth to be able to change the information on the second block, she has to change information on the first block. Now, let me explain to you on that one. Now, we have 5 blocks. I want you guys to understand that there are different information on each of those blocks. On one of them, right? Sorry, guys, can you hear me? Miss Oma, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. I'm almost done, guys. So now the way we have that 5 blocks, if you want to change an information on block number 5, you have to change an information on block number 4 first to be able to change the information on block number 5. And before the information on block number 4 will change, block number 3 information has to first of all change. And that is how the thing will be going at the end of the day, right? That's why we tell you that blockchain cannot be altered, because before you alter it, you have to alter subsequent blocks, right? And probably the consensus of the network. So consensus is something that we'll be discussing tomorrow. But now work with me as I break it down for you. So what is this blockchain? It's a distributed chain of linked blocks containing data/transaction or information. I explained this. Can store not only financial record, but any form of data. I told you that it stores information the way your Google Drive is. You can even store pictures on blockchains. So data is stored across many computers. Now, remember when we talked about this distribution, I told you that blockchain is distributed across many what? Across many computers. Now, those computers that the blockchain is distributed against, this is a very important quiz question that a lot of people fail. What is the name of those computers? The name of the computer is called nodes. For those of you writing, it's NODES, nodes. That's what it means. So you now here can store not only financial record, but any form of data. Data is stored across many nodes or computer. And then data on it is immutable. Immutability simply means that it cannot be altered, it cannot be changed, and it cannot be faked. Okay, so that is what blockchain is. So please, guys, if you understand this blockchain at least better now from this explanation I gave, it's no longer complex as it used to be. Can you type "I get it" on the chat box? Can you type "I get it"? If you did not get it, please write "I don't get it" too, so that I will know where I'm helping you from. Just type "I get it." Awesome. I'm glad that most of you guys are getting it. It's actually very complex. That's why okay, Dominic TV said I don't get it. Cynthia Onkwa said I don't get it. Okay. Anyways, there's the recording to this class, so we would always we would release the recording for the YouTube. You can go on YouTube and you kind of rewatch it. I would have loved to go back, but we are already against time, and I'm kind of trying to rush all of this now. So remember, right? This is blockchain. So now, what is the difference between blockchain and crypto? Now, everybody write this down. Everybody write this down. Blockchain is like the operating system, while crypto is the apps you have on your phone. For people that use Apple, the name of the operating system is called what? iOS. So just take it that blockchain is the iOS, and then crypto is the WhatsApp, the Facebook, the Snapchat, the Instagram that you have on that particular phone. Because sometimes some people will now ask me, so blockchain and crypto, which one is more important? And I usually tell them that that's not a very nice question to ask, because none of them can do without the other. Yeah, anybody wants to say something?
Yes, I'm the one raising my hand. Salome is pointing out that she doesn't get it.
See, guys, for some of you feeling sleepy, can you stand and just walk? I've been standing for this class since some of you don't even understand. I'm holding my laptop and I'm walking around my area because of network issues. So please. For some of you who don't get it, this is what I want you to understand. Just type "I don't get it" in the WhatsApp group. Okay, I might release a voice note, or I will send you the link to this recording so that you go and listen to it again. Do you understand? Or you can even send me a DM maybe this night or tomorrow morning, and then I would give you a call. I will give you. This is because it's the first time. I can't do it for everybody, and I'll give you a better a better explanation of it. But please follow me. So I hope you guys understand how crypto and blockchain is. Now, for those of you who use HP, Dell, when you want to compare crypto and blockchain, blockchain is just like your Windows 10 that is on your PC. While crypto is the normal apps like your Microsoft Word, your Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox that you have on it. I hope all of this makes a whole lot of sense. So what is the difference between crypto and blockchain now? So one is a digital currency, while the other one is a distributed database. I explained database where you store the data and information. Number two, crypto is a financial asset that is tradable, while blockchain is records information and is not tradable, of course. Number three, Bitcoin is the first and most popular cryptocurrency. So blockchain is the technology that houses Bitcoin and crypto. Remember I explained this about when I was telling you that blockchain is just like Windows, while crypto is like the YouTube. Yes, anybody wants to say something?
No, I'm trying to like make a request. Please, can you put the slides on full screen so we can see it better?
Okay. So Bitcoin is the first and most popular cryptocurrency, while blockchain is the technology that houses Bitcoin and what? And crypto. Number four is that crypto is public and decentralized, while blockchain has what? Several use cases. So I hope this makes sense. Now let's move to the next one. Blockchain use cases. Some of you want to write blockchain what? Use cases. So we have different use cases for blockchain. Remember, as I sat down, as I explained how blockchain works, what it is, right? So blockchain use cases. For those of you who are writing, number one, remittances and payments. So one of the use cases of blockchain is payments, right? Okay. When was that? Last year, I wanted to buy a mobile device, a phone, right? I wanted to buy a phone for two people, my mother and my younger sister. And where I buy my phones from is from Dubai. So I can't send the Dubai guy Naira. So what I did was I told the person to send me their wallet address, and I personally sent them crypto. Do you understand? And the person received it and sent me the phone. I also received it. I sent both the money for the phone and the shipping down to Dubai, right? And the person received it and sent me my phones. Do you see that that is already a use case? That is what? Payment or what? Or remittance. I hope that makes sense. The second use case is what? Healthcare. So this is the remittance where they said, did you know bank charges 7% for intercountry remittances, and it will take 3 days to get delivered? Yeah. So just like that, my Dubai example that I gave. As when I wanted to send it to the guy's Dubai account, it might take 3 days, right, to deliver. And imagine if bank removes 7%, some of you will not know that it's big money, but out of 1 million naira, 7% of 1 million naira is 70K, 70,000 naira. Because once you are just doing transaction of 1K, 2K, 3K, you don't know that 7% is a very big money. So 7% of 1 million naira is 70K. So, but with crypto, it's far, far lesser. In the time, and then if you're sending from Nigeria to any account, it takes 3 working days for the stuff to deliver. but on blockchain is as fast as what as possible. So just to be fast, I've spoken about remittance. Now let me talk about healthcare. How can we use blockchain in healthcare? Now let me walk you through. There's a write-up here, but I'll be sharing a perspective that is independent of this write-up, right? So let's say some of you now, you went to hospital 7 years ago. You now went to that same hospital last week. If care is not taken, all your record, we might look for it and we might never find it. Okay? So, but how does blockchain come in? If those information are stored on the blockchain and we are looking for them, it's very easy to get. All you just need to do is what? Is to, if you put the information on a blockchain, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, the information will still be that same way. So when you go to the hospital and then maybe you provide something like your wallet address for the hospital receptionist, and what you just figure is that all your medical record will just pop up once. And then let's say then you were having pains all over your joint in your leg 7 years ago, but now you're having pains in your shoulder. So there can be ways that this medical information will help make the whole this thing very, very easy. So a lot of us are victims of that because of how poorly they store data here in Nigeria and even Africa. So these are like different ways that we can use blockchain. I just shared one perspective from the health. For those of you writing, I want to give you small assignments. Government and voting charity. You must not write it to submit it, but tomorrow, right, you can always open your mic to share. I want you to go and check how does blockchain assist government and voting. How does blockchain assist charity? How does blockchain assist identity management? And how does blockchain assist decentralized finance? So that tomorrow, I'm going to or not tomorrow, on Friday, when we're having our next class, I'm going to get your views. So we have come to the end of today's class. I know the time I spent more than my estimated time. Mind you, next week, I'm going to be starting at exactly my time. Okay, before I move. So now this is what we are going to do. Please take a screenshot of this page, everybody. We are currently at the session question side where you ask questions about any particular thing you don't understand throughout the class. So this is your time, this is your field. Well, this is it, right? Take a screenshot of this first. So we have a to-do at the end of every this thing. The to-do is when you take a screenshot, ensure your name is shown in that screenshot. Don't go and share a screenshot that your name is not there. There's no how we'll know that it is you, right? So I want you to tweet about a few things that you learned this night, and you should make the tweet this night. Don't postpone it to tomorrow. Make a tweet this night about what you learned in this class. Ensure you tag official GIDA and then use these 4 hashtags: SkillUp Summer Bootcamp, SkillUp GIDA, and GIDA Bootcamp. There are 5 hashtags: SkillUp Summer Bootcamp, SkillUp GIDA, and GIDA Bootcamp. Sorry, 4, not 5. So please let us blast it on our social media platform, on Twitter and all of that. Please, mind you, some people are actually watching as you're posting these things, and you never can know what they have in store for you. Okay, so please, let's take a screenshot and let's start posting. Now the next thing is the question session. So who has question? All you just need to do is to raise your hands. I know a lot of us are feeling sleepy already, right? Just raise your hands and I will just raise your hands and I will answer your question. Okay, Chisom Chukodi, let's have you unmute yourself. Please, if you know you have a question, just keep raising your hands, okay? Yeah, Chisom, you can ask your question, please. Chisom Chukodi. Unmute yourself.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello, can I be heard, guys?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, then proceed.
So
Proceed.
my question is about this distributed P2P. I would like you to share more light to it, please.
Yeah, I shared an illustration in the group, WhatsApp group chat. Have you checked it?
Okay, let me check.
Yeah, so you get it there. Let's have Chinemerem Iloachu. Chinemerem Iloachu. Chisom, please mute yourself.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Chinemerem.
Please, I didn't get your explanation on fiat money.
Fiat money is your 100 naira. Your 200, 1,000. That is fiat money. It simply means it has the government's backing. Right? The government is backing the Nigerian naira. That's why we have CBN and all of that. So that's just simply what fiat money is. It's not something bigger than that. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Please, Miss Oma, are you there? Hello, Miss Oma. Miss Oma, don't sleep. Oh.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
please.
here. Oh, I'm here.
Okay. Please, can you type this hashtag in the WhatsApp group chat? SkillUp Summer Bootcamp. Hashtag SkillUp Summer Bootcamp. Hashtag SkillUp. Hashtag GIDA. Hashtag GIDA Bootcamp.
All right, I'll do that, sir.
Yeah, so type it so that people post. Please post on Twitter this